This is Salvation Army, where you can drop off stuff in Puerto La Tierra. And directly is Old San Juan with these luxury apartments built on the waterfront. And here are all the luxury yachts. Huge difference between rich and poor. Puerto Rico. Look at these yachts. It's Tuesday afternoon, February 24th. 4 years since Russia invaded Ukraine. And the diary of Phelan is giving a State of the Union. Well, it's supposed to be a State of the Union talk today, but it will be the ravings of a demented pedophile. So I won't be listening to it. So I'm walking towards Puerto de Tierra. Ready to feed people, take care of them, which is really, really great. Used to be a huge Ferris wheel here, which they took down recently. Now that big crane, they hoist up a bar on Saturdays. People sit up in the air, drinking at the bar. It's very bizarre. So I'm just walking across to the harbour. Oh look, there's some nice seats here. So you can sit here and you can look at the poor people. This is Puerto La Tierra. It looks like this is going to be torn down. And then you can look at the rich people. Who says it costs a lot of money to have fun? I don't know who all these belong to. Oh, that's a British flag. That's someone British. Oh my gosh. The law, the Jones law. You're not allowed to offload people and goods in Puerto Rico, but I guess that's not what they're doing. They're just, look at this nice avenue. It's trees. Okay, it's a nice piece of where the Ferris wheel used to be. Community Puerto de Tierra. Okay. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, look at this. Yeah. So I'm just going to walk down this street. This street contains a facility that is run by Homeland Security. And according to Google, it says ICE, Homeland Security. So here we are. You can play mini golf, or you can sit up in the sky and drink beer. And there's another deck you can sit up on. Very creative. Oh, I guess that's where the bar is. there it is. I guess it's on the ground at the moment. There's a huge cruise ship there. There's two places the cruise ships come. They come to Pier 4, which is over there, and they also come to this side, which is near the convention center. So they either go to Old San Juan, or oh, this is new. Oh, very cool. Oh, that's lovely. And look at the van. Oh my God, this is so cute. And there is this suspended bar. They really do. They put this up in the air, and I saw people sitting there. I guess they strap them in. I don't know what they do if they want to go to the bathroom. Clearly they can't. Flight dining. Well, I tell you, it's always something. That's very cute. Let's keep going down the street through Puerto. Oh, it's so pretty. They just recently painted this. Here's another enormous. Oh my, look at these ships. So they have all these incredibly expensive ships. And then down the street, there's the ICE facility. I don't believe they are detaining people there. I think that's where they're keeping their cars. I'm not sure what it's for, because the headquarters for ICE is at 800 Ponce de Leon. And I have seen black SUVs going in there, and they have very good security. It's a multi-story building, maybe 16 floors. The upper floors, it looks like it could be a prison or something. I'm not sure. But I understand the main detainment center is in Guanabo. Look at that. There they all are. Gosh. The hills in the background. This whole area, see, this looks like it's being fixed up. This whole area, a lot of it's been torn down recently and rebuilt. And here we are. Isidro Infante. So I guess Isidro in this case is a boy's name. My friend Glennis has a grandchild called Isidra, I believe, or Isidro. Anyway, it would be an Infanta if it was a girl. So it must be a boy's name and a girl's name. See, look, these are very fancy new places. Which is what's happened. In the distance, there was a huge apartment building there. It's being torn down, and other apartment buildings are being torn down, presumably so that developers can build expensive housing like this. I mean, these are really nice. You can see in the distance. Yeah. These are not for poor people. These are very fancy, with fancy air conditioning and fancy everything. Though they don't seem to believe in windows. Look at that. There's no windows on the side. Why would they do that? I guess they don't want the ocean breeze. So here we have Joe Quijano. Beautiful building. And there we have a nice mural. A couple of bracing. Wow, this really is nice. More rich people's housing. And then the poor people's housing's up there. It's gradually being torn down bit by bit. Silver Sea. Okay. The sun is definitely coming down. Kids playing. It's always encouraging. Okay, this looks like a document. And it obviously is. So, this is where. Took over the part of the road for curbside parking. Parking is a huge issue in Puerto Rico. I have a theory that town planners would like to actually tear down everything, turn the whole of Puerto Rico into a parking lot. There's just so many parking lots, so many cars. Okay, so here we have the third set of gorgeous buildings without windows. I wonder if they planned to put in windows and then decided they were too expensive. Yeah, boy. Bay Shore. Bayshore Villas, okay. These are a little bit different than they have bigger balconies. Oh, and there's open in the middle. So the stairway is open, which is actually nice. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I believe it's a supermarket. Yes, it is. Because I walked past here a few weeks ago. Here we are. You too can buy groceries in the middle of San Juan. Dasani. Oh, very cute area. Oh, you can buy mineral water. Supermercado. No, it is a supermarket. Okay, you don't just buy drinks. And ahead, you can see the old apartment buildings being torn down. There's another fancy building, and this is less fancy. There are all kinds of developments along here. Look at this. This is another building that's being torn down or turned into something fancy. Look at this. Yeah. There's just an enormous amount of building going on at the moment. Just in the last few months. Even a fancy walkway. You don't have to. Look at that. Oh, this was all an apartment building. Oh my, that must be the apartment building that I saw being torn down a few weeks ago. And there's the next one. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people these have, but these people lost their homes. This is a new battery to hold out. Gosh, look at that. And here we have these fancy apartments here. Centro Comunal Quartier. Oh, okay. And here we have more homes. I don't know if they're rental properties or condos. Okay. So this I saw being torn down. They're starting to tear this part down, and I guess that big heap is part of this. So this was affordable housing for a lot of people. All being torn down. Central. Okay. Administration. Because the graffiti boys have already been at work. Yeah, look at that. This is actually a nice little area of San Juan, because it's very accessible to the center of the city. Okay, these are the old buildings. Maybe they were built, maybe they were expensive to start off with. I don't know. This is all being torn down. And here these buildings here. Okay, I guess people are renting them out as Airbnbs. Well, that's the case for everywhere in Puerto Rico. Everything has the potential of being a rental property. And there was another building that was being torn down. These buildings looked like they were nicely built. If you see the balconies when you go by on the bus, it looks like the balconies are communal. They don't belong to one particular flat. You see a whole lot of people sitting out together and talking. It's rather nice. Okay, so this has been torn down, and what we have ahead of us on the right is this building that on the gate says Homeland ICE. It actually just says Homeland, Department of Homeland Services, but on the Google map it says ICE Homeland. Okay, so here are some more places where people live. There's still so many high-rises being built with condos and apartment buildings. That are being rented out. Okay, this is behind bars. They don't want you in there. And in fact, I believe these bars are new. I don't remember seeing them a few weeks ago. Because I was walking through them. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I forgot, but I don't remember that. No, it's new. You can see that's new. So all these bars have just been put up. And that building that I can see, there, that green building, that is Homeland Security. And I stood on that bus stop right there, and I made a little video of the area. So there we have it. That's where ICE is, in Puerto de la Tierra. Right opposite Rivera Brothers. And that's it. Now, I could see through the fence. Oh yeah, they've got all kinds of medical equipment here, which is very cool. So that's what Rivera Brothers sells. And they're right opposite the Homeland Homeland building, which is here. Full parking lot, as it was when I first came on a Saturday afternoon. So this is a Tuesday afternoon, and this was just torn down. I believe this was a fire station, because there used to be a fire station here, and there isn't one anymore. Very strange. And there's McDonald's, because, you know, ICE thugs get hungry when they're not beating up people, and they have to go and eat their McDonald's. And McDonald's closes. This McDonald's closes at 5 p.m. So I guess ICE does all their work early. Then they go home to watch television and beat up their wives. Okay, that's the end. Hope you enjoyed this little walk.